this should have happened years ago. Like specifically, the last year Mitchell Trubisky was there. The year prior they went to the playoffs. Mitchell Trubisky actually looked like a slightly above average quarterback. He brought that team to the playoffs. They lost to the double doink. They went all in with Khalil Mack. But you saw Trubisky doing running and gunning type of stuff and making plays off script. The following season, Matt Nagy decides to make him a pocket passer. Trubisky gets eaten alive. They ship him out, and he ends up signing with Buffalo. But I mean, this year it's just been an absolute train wreck. The locker room was lost last year. Nobody's buying into what he's doing anymore. Ryan Pace is a joke. Who, as a general manager, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way to the unemployment line by the end of the year. I think this is going to happen. This is fait accompli. I think what the big issue with, air quote issue, where Nagy later came out today at a presser and said, the reports are news to him. He hasn't heard anything from ownership. The Chicago Bears have never fired a head coach mid-season in their 102 plus year history. But I think that trend's going to break. I think he's going to be fired, especially if they lose on Thanksgiving to the hapless Detroit Lions, which, they're going to have Jared Goff at quarterback with an oblique injury. It's definitely going to happen. They lose to Detroit. It's going to be warp speed. He'll be finding his own way home. But he's definitely done at the end of the year. Just for their development of Justin Fields, they need to move on from Matt Nagy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Puma. I really do believe that this actually is going to happen, and it really is a long time coming. This team this year has been just, no matter where you look at it, it's just been an absolute train wreck. Start with the management of the quarterbacks, with how defiant they were about Andy Dalton, and then Justin Fields comes in when Dalton's hurt, and then it's this whole circus of trying to figure out who's actually going to play for them. They lost in pretty bad fashion on Sunday against the Ravens. They more or less imploded on themselves in a game that was there to be had, and they should have won. So it's going to be a nice, fresh breath of air, we'll call it, for Matt Nagy to get fired. I'm sick of looking at this guy and listening to him talk. And yeah, like you said, Puma, about Justin Fields, they need to get somebody else in there to develop him, or they're going to risk ruining the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And listen, this should have come a long time ago, Puma. You're right, man. He had that 1 year where he went 12-4, and he somehow got that team in the playoffs, and they looked somewhat competent. But besides that, man, it's just been bad. It's been 8-8 the last couple of years. This year they kind of everything has fell off the wagon. So, it's best that they move on from Matt Nagy. I think Justin Fields is potentially a great quarterback in the NFL. You've got to get a coach in there that's gonna essentially be the best possible thing for Justin Fields to develop into a quarterback that can stay in the league for a long time. So I think we all saw this coming. We didn't see it coming in the middle of the season because obviously the Bears don't do that in the middle of the season, but it's the right move. And, at the end of the day, I do wonder how he's going to coach his last game against the Lions. I wonder if he's going to become more reckless than usual, just going out with the bang kind of thing. So we'll see how that plays out on Thursday.
Right, and especially if you what I don't understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the reporter that initially came out with that is the former beat reporter for the Chicago Bears. If you're going to come out with a statement like that, wouldn't that just crater your team's motivation to actually go out and play relatively hard on Thursday against the Detroit Lions? If you know that potentially your head coach is on the way out, regardless of win or loss against the Detroit Lions, where's the incentive to actually perform for this head coach? I get it; they're professional athletes, but if the reports are true and they already lost the locker room, what incentive is there for Hicks to go out there and Allen Robinson, who's been an unhappy camper in that locker room ever since the year started? If you're going to come out with a report like that, you might as well have just fired him today.